Hi everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. I'm back to recycling old paintings. So I've got loads and loads of paintings in my art room that I haven't sold or I don't think are good enough to sell, but I just don't really want to get rid of them. There's something about them I want to keep. So recently I've started cutting them up and doing different things with them. So I've just bought myself a really cool little a punch, like a hole punch, but in the shape of flowers. So I want to use a painting or two, create some flowers and make some sort of collage. I'm going to hand paint a background and then somehow stick the flowers on. It will be a work in progress. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do everything yet. So step by step, I'm going to hand paint the base first. So excited to see if I can make something of this. So I bought this frame. It's 41.5 centimetres. It's a deep frame. So there is a piece of glass, but the glass is set above, probably about an inch deep. So let's just have a look at it. This frame came from Hobbycraft and they do them in black, white and the wood effect colour. I've not used one of the wooden ones before. So I could either leave it wooden or I could paint it if I wanted it to be a particular colour. Right, so you get a piece of hardboard. So I can either paint that or I could paint this. I think it needs to be the hard surface because otherwise if I use the paint, it could make it go quite wrinkly. Or I could use a canvas and cut up a canvas, but it makes sense to use this board. The first thing I think I need to do is paint it white. Just so that this brown colour doesn't show through. White is so nice and opaque, it should cover really nicely. While that is drying, I'm going to start on my flowers. So this is what I've bought just on Amazon, online, Eck Tools. Let me show you. So it's a hole punch, but with a big flower, a smaller flower, a little spot and a leaf shape. And the idea is that you put this flower on top of this flower. This is the centre, so it's two parts to a flower. So the canvas I want to reuse is this one. Really nice and bright and colourful, but most importantly, it's got some green in it because I want some leaves. So I'm going to have sort of pinky, purpley, turquoise flowers with some green leaves. I might actually save the blue for the leaves as well, I'm not sure. So to remove the canvas, there's a few ways. You could unpick it at the back to get the edges of the canvas, but I find that's really difficult to do. What I find is a lot easier is just to pierce the canvas at the edge with your craft knife and just go around like this, and it gives a nice clean edge. It just helps to remove it really nicely. So you've got a really nice piece of canvas and it leaves a really pretty frame. The frame's got a nice bevel on it. So I think the inside of stretcher bars, if that's what you call them, is actually much prettier than the flat outside. So I won't get rid of that. I will keep that for something. Right, what I think I'm going to do first is cut up the green because I want the green to make the leaves. And I'm just going to use the leaf part here of the stamp. So if you turn it upside down, you can actually see where you're cutting, so you can position it in the place that you're happy with, like that. And out pops a leaf. Now this one hasn't cut very well. It's got some little spare threads, so I'm just going to cut those off. And now I've got my perfect leaf shape. So I'm now going to cut some of the flowers. So I'm not worried about the leaf part now, but if that gets cut in, that's fine. But I want the 2 flowers and then the spot in the centre. So really similarly, I can just feed this through and position it to where I want it. Like that. Now this involves a bit more force now, so I'm just going to turn it the other way. So I've got a nice big flower, I've got a little spot in the centre, and then I've got the other flower. It's just got caught in here though, like that. So the idea is you can put them together. I might well mix up the colours though, but you put the 3 bits together to make a flower and then a leaf or 2. Really pretty, but I think I'll mix up the colours of the flowers because you can't see them well enough like that. I've now got 4 piles of little bits. So I've got my leaves, the bigger flowers, the skinnier flowers, and then the little spots, the little dots for the centre. So I'm going to, if I take one of the flowers, if there's a little bit of stray canvas on the edge, I'm just going to trim that just to neaten it up a little bit. Right, so I've got the base, and then I'm going to select one of the central pieces. I've got hot glue. I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue in the centre, and I'm just going to position it on top. And then get a centre. So again, maybe a contrasting centre. So I've got lots of gold. So the other option is that I go for a more goldy centre. So that looks quite nice, I think, because then it gives a bit of difference. And I can definitely cut out, I've got lots of little scraps left with gold, so I could definitely cut out some gold centres. I think that might be what I'll do. So again, another little bit of glue, hot glue in the centre. And then just very carefully push that down. Right, this white is now dry, so I want to paint on the background. So what I'm imagining is very pale, very pastel-y colours, greenier at the bottom, and then more sky colours at the top. So blue, but I've got a little bit of pale pink and a bit of Venetian rose as well for the top, and then green at the bottom. And then I think what I will do is then when it's dry, paint on some branches or some leaves, and then have the flowers in a band across the centre. Now I've just mixed this Montmartre, what colour is it? Yellow-green, just with a bit of white. So I get this really beautiful, soft, pale colour. So I'm just going to put some of this on. I want this to be a bit patchy. I want it to blend, but I don't want the colour to be, I don't want it to be solid blocks of colour particularly. So I'm probably going to end up spending quite a while just playing around with different colours here. So I've got that green, so I'm going to add a little bit of earth green by Pebeo and a bit more white. And I think the best way is probably just to mix this on the canvas. So I'm now ready to start positioning the flowers. I've got quite a lot of the flowers you've just seen me make on the video, but I've also got some other ones. So when I did a couple of practice flowers from just using another scrap of canvas, and there was some white canvas, which I really liked the contrast. So I think I'm just going to, there's not that many of them, these are them, but I think they just add a bit of contrast to the flowers I've just been making. So I think I'm just going to put them all in, mix them all up. So I think I'm going to do this quite carefully, and I'm going to position the flowers on quite carefully. So I think the way I'll do it is just to try and place them sort of next to each other, but with a little bit of canvas showing through, so that the flowers and the leaves almost wrap around each other. I could have it so that they were overlapping if I wanted to, but I think I would quite like just this band where you can see the outline of each flower. So I think I'll do that to start with. I'm just going to place them on. If it doesn't look right, I can just change it, because I'm not going to stick them on yet. This has turned out to be such a happy painting. I'm so pleased with it. Absolutely love it. So I'll show you the bit that you didn't see on camera. So I've got a Cricut machine, and it just cuts out these beautiful stickers. And you can choose whatever colour you want. So I've used like a rose gold on here because the colour really works well with the pink sky. But you can see it's really shiny as well. It's almost got like a mirror, metallic mirror finish to it. So I think that works really well. And I wanted to put something about friends and flowers. So it's not for anyone in particular, but I will probably sell this at one of my fairs. But I just thought that's a really nice message. The background, the pinks and the blues just blend beautifully. Really pleased with that. And then I spent some time making all the flowers a little bit 3D. The canvas does, you can sort of pull the canvas out. Where's my hand? There we go, like this. But it does, over time, it does go back again. But not completely. You've definitely got some 3D to it. One idea is that I could put a ring of white of glue underneath just to help them to stick out, but I don't think it needs it. They're just so happy, so fun, so colourful, so pretty. Really, really pleased with it. I really like how the grass works in the background, and I think it just works really well in the frame. The frame does have a piece of glass, but I haven't put it in at the moment because you'll get lots of glare and lots of reflections. So what do you think? I'm also tempted to try something similar, but use just the central flower, the uppermost one, but cut out a couple of them and have those offset. So instead of that back flower, because I think that would look pretty, I think it would look more like a daisy. What do you think? Please let me know. Please do hit the thumbs up button if you like it. Great, thanks so much for watching. Bye.